Okay, guys, a very good morning and thank you for joining us again on this lovely Saturday morning. My name is Nishan and we are here today to discuss a very interesting topic, one that is very closely related to finance, fintech, as well as what the future holds for that particular industry. Thank you for joining us again on this lovely Saturday morning. Okay, so once again, sorry about that, guys. That's the joys of doing online talks. So we do have a little technical glitch there. So I apologize for that, but nonetheless, when we are going live later, when we are talking about this topic later on, I will kickstart the session by giving you a brief introduction about the University of Reading and University of Reading, Malaysia. And then we will dive into the topic of the day, why study finance and business management. And also at the end of the session, once our guest speaker today, Associate Professor Dr. Pisal, has done presenting, we will have a very quick Q&A session where you, the audience, can actually post your questions on the chat and we will address them. And yes, so to begin with, I would like to introduce to everyone our guest speaker for the day. Dr. Pisal, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Nishan. Welcome again. Nice to see you. Okay.
Yep, nice to see you too, Dr. Pisal. It's a pleasure to have you over. Now, for all of you watching, Dr. Pisal is one of our renowned academics from Henley Business School. And just to give you a little insight about the person that we have today, Dr. Pisal has had a long history of teaching and learning and research experience as an academic, and was previously he was the director of the Center of Research and Publication at INSEAD, and he is an active researcher as well as one of the visiting lecturers for Henley Business School in the UK. And currently he is an active academic with us and he leads the Finance and Business Management program. And he also holds a PhD in economics from Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, USA. So he brings with himself a vast experience of research and academic capabilities. And today he will be giving us a preview and insight on the benefits, the advantages of studying finance and business management and what students can expect once they are done, when they have a degree, what kind of program that they go through here in Reading, Malaysia, that helps them develop into an adaptable and effective and also a brilliant worker, entrepreneur in the future. So to begin with, ladies and gentlemen, let me just start by sharing my screen and I will dive in very quickly on the University of Reading and University of Reading, Malaysia. So to begin with, ladies and gentlemen, we are an established university. We have been around since late 1800s, and at current moment, the university is ranked top 75 globally for International Outlook. And just to dive in a little bit about the brief history of the University of Reading is it began in 1892 as an extension college of Oxford University. And in 1926, uniquely, in between the two world wars, the university received its charter to operate as an independent university. And ever since then, we have been producing hundreds of thousands of graduates in a variety of disciplines. And in 2016, the adventure of the University of Reading, Malaysia was officially launched and it began. Of course, we started teaching in Malaysia since 2013, but ever since then, we have been expanding. We have our state-of-the-art campus here, which I will show you in a little bit later. And part of the university's achievements also involves having received numerous accolades, especially being one of the top green spaces in the UK. So it is a beautiful green campus. It brings with itself a rich history and heritage, and we will explain to you in a little bit more about the university. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the university, this is of course the map of the UK. And as you can see here, the red star below is where the University of Reading is located, and it is pretty close to London. It's about a 25 or 30-minute train ride from London. It is situated in a big piece of land, actually, and it is, as I said, one of the recipients of one of the top green spaces in the UK, currently home to about a little over 18,000 students from over 150 countries, and the UK campus does offer over 250 degree programs, disciplines such as archaeology, agriculture, business architecture, we've got a ton of programs there which have been long established, fantastic programs and fantastic learning experience. As you can see, these are just some shots of our UK campus. And as you can see, it's a big green space, and also it's a good mix of both modern and traditional architecture. So it is a conducive and proper learning environment, and also a place for you to live your student journey, to network with people, meet people from different walks of life, build up your networks, learn different cultures, and just enjoy the whole 3 or 4 years of your university life. And as we go on, the Malaysia campus actually was established in 2015 and launched in 2016. So we are currently located in the southernmost state of Peninsular Malaysia, in the state of Johor, and we are actually very close to Singapore as well. So we are right beside Singapore actually, and we are in a place called EduCity, first of its kind education hub that is designed for education purpose. It is a conducive place, it is a safe environment. Everyone has their own campus environment, and we have ample teaching space, we have the laboratories, the library, and so on. Currently, the Malaysia campus has a very small but vibrant community of about 600 people. And we also have international students. We also have the sports facilities within EduCity that are available at the students' disposal. And currently, the university offers 8 different programs, and part of the programs are one of the topics that we will be speaking about today, which is finance and business management. Now, as you can see, these are some of shots of our state-of-the-art Malaysia campus, and there we go. So the list of programs that we offer in Malaysia campus, of course, we've got the disciplines such as in law, psychology, in built environment, and then, of course, we have the 4 different business programs on offer, and finance and business management is one of our top programs, which is uniquely affiliated with the CFA Institute, which Dr. Pisal will be giving you some insight on later. And students who do start their journey here actually have the opportunity to experience the best of both worlds, where you could actually do the same exact UK degree here for 3 years, or you could also do part of your degree on the UK campus, whether it's a year or 2 years, you can actually do that. And that gives you, as I said, the best of both worlds with the same quality degree, but at a much affordable rate. So Henley Business School, ladies and gentlemen, it was established in 1945, is one of the oldest business schools in Europe and also in the world, and is uniquely triple accredited. And through Henley Business School's programs is what we have the 4 programs here in Malaysia campus. And of course, finance and business management is what we will be talking about in detail later, but we also have the accounting and finance program. We also have one of the top programs in the UK, top real estate programs in the UK offered here. And also, for those of you who are more keen on entrepreneurship and sorts, then we have the business management program as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's a little sharing about the Malaysia campus that I have explained about. So right now we will dive into the main topic of the day, which is why study finance and business management, and also how students can build a global career in finance and fintech. So Dr. Pisal, I hand over the baton to you, sir. So you may start sharing. I'll let you know if we can see the slides.
Thank you very much, Nishan. Thank you again for the generous introduction about myself. Sometimes I feel embarrassed when people talk about myself. Welcome to this program. Today we're going to talk about the Bachelor of Science, Finance and Business Management, which is one of the 4 programs offered at Henley Business School in Malaysia. In short, we call this Bachelor of Science, Finance and Business Management is FABM, F-A-B-M. In short, we call it FABM. Within University of Reading, we normally call ourselves as FABM. So what this program is all about is it's open to students who are already basically taken their foundation, their A-level somewhere, okay? So we don't talk about the details of the entry qualification today. Nishan will help you with that later on if there is a need for that. And Nishan also talk about long history of establishment of the university as well as the Henley Business School. So it is not a fly-by-night kind of university. It is not fly-by-night kind of business school. It is a long established and well placed in terms of ranking in the global business school ranking. Okay? So let me share with you my screen, okay, so that we can be focused on what we're going to talk about today. The topic given to me basically why we study Bachelor of Science, Finance and Business Management, head start to a global career in finance and fintech. Why we call it a head start to global career in finance and fintech? Because even though you study at Henley Business School in Malaysia, it doesn't mean that you have to settle down in Malaysia. Our degree is, as Nishan pointed out in his briefing about our university and our school, this degree is awarded by the University of Reading, Malaysia. So in your scroll, you will not see the University of Reading, Malaysia, because this is the branch campus. So the degree is being awarded by the University of Reading, UK. So therefore, you can work anywhere that you want in the world. So that's basically what we're going to share with you today. So what we want to show you, this is our what we call it, our small is beautiful family. We have a small setup, state-of-the-art campus, purpose-built campus in Indo City, not far off from Singapore. Distance-wise is about 40 minutes, okay, but the traffic will take you more than that. But distance-wise, we are very close to Singapore. Okay? It's about 2.5–3 hours drive from Kuala Lumpur. It's about 40 minutes flight time from KLIA to Johor Airport. Okay? So these are our, not the entire family members, but the big chunk, about 70% of our faculty, family members. So comprises of from our provost, Professor Wing Lam, the one with a blue jacket, okay, and then is this picture made up of faculty members as well as professional support staff. Okay, you can see Nishan on the very extreme, smiling extreme left. Okay, in the picture. Okay, so this is basically what we do. Okay, what we are basically very small but growing families. Okay, so now let me share with you. This is our first cohort of 11 Henley Business School students. Okay, they graduated with the BSc Finance and Business Management in 2017. So in Malaysia, this is the first cohort. Okay, and they are now everywhere in the industry, as well as few of them started their own business or in their family business, but they are scattered all over. Okay, scattered all over, and then they are well accepted in the industry, in the job market. And then I think the data tells us that they landed in their job less than 6 months after they graduate. So this is very interesting, very encouraging information. Okay, so where do we go from here? We started with the family, and then we show you the first cohort of the business school graduates in 2017. Okay, they studied in Johor, they did the foundation in Johor, and then they studied for 3 years. So basically, this is the first pioneering batch of the Henley Business School that graduates in 2017. So let me introduce to you the key persons, okay, at the Henley Business School. Okay, the one that you see standing, okay, from left to right. Okay, this is Professor Tech. Okay, Professor Tech is the head of Henley Business School, and then next to him in blue blouse is Associate Professor Dr. Janice. Okay, she is a program lead for BSc Real Estate. Next to Dr. Janice on the extreme right is Associate Professor Dr. Teh Siong Hong. She's the program lead for Bachelor of Science, Business and Management. And then sitting, okay, from left to right is, of course, me, yours truly, talking to you right now. You can see me. Okay. And then next to me is Associate Professor Dr. Evelita Celis. Okay. She is the program lead for BSc Accounting and Finance. Okay. So what we have over here is the full suite of our program. Okay. We have Bachelor of Science in Finance and Business Management, which I am the program lead. We have this Bachelor of Science Real Estate, which Dr. Jenny is the program lead. So we have this Bachelor of Science Business and Management, Dr. Teh is the program lead, and Associate Professor Dr. Abilita is the program lead for Bachelor of Science Accounting and Finance. So these are the 4 full suite of undergraduate program at Henley Business School currently. So when we look at this, the program structure, okay, why we want to embark in this business Bachelor of Science, Finance and Business Management, or FABM in short. Okay, I will use this interchangeably between FABM and Bachelor of Finance and Business Management during my presentation. Okay, so what's the value proposition of this FABM? Okay, number one, of course, because the name of the program is Bachelor of Science, Finance and Business Management, so we must put a strong emphasis on finance skills. Okay, and then together with finance to make you basically stand out first among equal in the market. When you go to join the job market, is basically we talk about this analytical skill. And other than that, okay, combining this finance skill, analytical skill, okay, that's what I was saying in the beginning, in the previous slides. That is the employability traits. Okay, employability traits. So as we mentioned, most of our graduates, okay, land on their first job within 6 months of the graduation. So when we talk about finance skill, the core principle that we are trying to mold our students, basically, we provide a comprehensive blended module or courses, okay? And you see already we call it modules. For those of you who basically coming from the American university system, you're familiar with courses. So we use module and courses at the same time, okay? Blended modules between a combination of finance, accounting, marketing, and quantitative methods, okay? So that's basically the whole 3 years of your journey doing this basic of finance and business management. You'll be basically exposed, trained, and to get the specific, the required skills within finance, accounting, marketing, and quantitative methods. Okay, and of course, primarily we're talking about finance. Finance become the core, basically modules that you will be exposed to from year 1 all the way to year 3. So you will never miss finance program from year 1 to year 3. When we talk about core, we are combining, we are trying to train our students with 2 important aspects. One is about the theory of finance, okay? Number 2, the applied side of the finance. Okay? So you learn about the theory, and then how you take this theory into the applied side, okay? And then of course, when you talk about the applied side, there must be an analytical aspect to that finance. For example, we are given in the today's world, we are given a situation, okay, where we are in the most challenging time in our modern history, in our life today, when we are facing the pandemic. Okay, so how basically the theories that we learn in the classroom could be applied in the real world situation. Okay, we talk about this a little bit later, but I can give you the hint now. For example, okay, during this pandemic, okay, most of us who are working, basically, they are required to work from home, regardless of the nature of the work. Okay, most people are today, they are working from home. So working from home is the new cliche in the 2020 and 2021. It's a buzzword. Everywhere people talk about working from home. That's number 1. Number 2, when we work from home, we must be equipped, okay, with this technological know-how. Okay, that's the soft skill, as well as the physical aspect of technology. We must have the camera, we must have the PC, a desktop, we must have this basically good broadband connection. Okay, so now we can still deliver our services like we are doing right now. Okay, in most other aspects as well, we can still deliver our services, but without meeting the people face to face like we used to be. Okay, later on, I will try to relate this into how basically the financial services today is basically being delivered, okay, being basically sent to us, okay, without us have to visit banks like before. Physically, you have to go to bank, we have to queue, whatnot. Now we have access to all the facilities, whatnot, 24/7 at our fingertips. So long that we have a connection, we have a smartphone, we have a desktop, we have a tablet, whatever, we can access that. Same thing about learning today. Okay, when we talk about learning, okay, in the traditional understanding that learning must take place in the classroom. Okay, but because of the pandemic that we are facing today, since March last year, for the case of Malaysia, until today, almost 20 months now, okay, learnings at all levels, okay, from primary school all the way to PhD graduates programs, okay, being delivered by using this basically online or remotely, delivered remotely. So this is something that we are learning at the same time. But do not forget, we can mention this as challenges, but at the same time, this basically pandemic trained us how to react, how to basically respond positively, okay, without basically withdrawing from the system. Okay? So that's the important thing of it. So talking about this delivery of the online University of Reading in Malaysia and University of Reading in UK, we are ever ready to basically deliver our teaching and learning, okay, material as well as this by using either online or face-to-face cohort at almost instantaneously. We can switch at any time depending on the directive or guidelines issued by the Ministry of Higher Education in Malaysia or the government of Malaysia for that matter. So that's basically some experience that we have today. And then when we talk about this analytical skill, okay, we have at our campus, okay, if you are in town, you are close to Johor, come and visit us, okay, come and visit us. Nishan and his colleagues will be happy to host you, okay, to show you around. Whenever we are allowed to be on campus, that's what I meant, okay. So we have one room, okay, we call this trading room, okay, dealing room we call it, within Henley Business School, within Institute of Reading, we call it dealing room. This dealing room is basically like a simulation rooms, okay. If you go there, a student of finance module, finance courses, okay, they are exposed to the real actual trading in the market. Okay, so you have to place your bid. Okay, you have to place your. So basically, the real experience. I went to this for the first time. I joined this place. Okay, I went to the course. Okay, I entered this course, and then I lose so much money. Okay, and I asked the professor because he was visiting from UK, trying to show us what this basically simulation program can do and how this enhance understanding and knowledge of our student. And he was saying that it's better for you to lose money. Okay. Why is it better to lose money? Because once we lose money once, okay, we know the mistake and not to repeat the same mistake again, so that we don't lose money for the second time and the subsequent time. Okay, so that's basically how we tell our students. Okay, basically it's okay to lose money, but not so much money. Okay, but we learn from the mistake and then we move on from that. Okay, so this is basically what we call the state-of-the-art dealing rooms. Okay, not many universities in Malaysia are having these facilities. Okay. So this is the real, basically actual trading being conducted. There's a phone on the desk, okay, the phone keep on ringing, okay, so you have to be quick, okay, because when buyers they want to buy instantaneously at a certain price, okay, so that what we can do with the dealing rooms, okay, we can do options, okay, you can do currencies, forex, okay, you can do all these derivative trading, okay, so that's basically what basically we're trying to expose our students with, so that when they have this knowledge, okay, you don't have to be in office like where Nishan is right now or where am I right now, stuck to the 4 cubicle kind of things, okay, but you can be anywhere with this knowledge, and with this knowledge, you can, for example, use this knowledge to advise your client remotely or to do some investment and whatnot. Okay, so that's basically the analytical skill. This is the skills that require finance skill, basically the knowledge of the finance that's very crucial as a finance student, as well as once we have the knowledge, once we know the theory, okay, how do we apply this theory and make an informed decision analytically to advise our client if we are working basically, for example, as fund managers in advising our clients. Okay, and then so when we talk about this employability traits, okay, what is important is that we have the so-called finance knowledge, finance skill. We have analytical skills, okay, which we combine all this together with the soft skill. Okay, because remember, when you come to the university, you are not only learning basically one way kind of things. Okay, you take from us, okay, and then you sit for the exam, you transfer the knowledge from the PowerPoint slides, okay, in the classroom, and then you memorize certain facts, and then you produce it in the exam, you pass your exam with flying colors, and then you get a good grade in your degree. That's not only thing that we are teaching our students. Okay, our students are exposed to some other soft skills. Okay, communication skill. Okay, mock interviews. Okay, and also I really like our basically the composition of our students. Okay, they are very talented. Okay, I was very impressed when I first joined this place. Okay, our students are very good in music. Okay, they can play all kind of musical instruments. They are good in sports. They are good in some other social activities. Okay, some of them went and visit these old folk homes. Okay, even to see them perform. Okay, this is the best among the best. Okay. Wait for the festival, and luckily we are in Malaysia. We have so many festivals. Festival for the Chinese New Year, festival for the Diwali, festival for the Christmas, festival for the Muslim, the Eid, Hari Raya, we call it. Okay, so we can see this talent. Okay, they are not using their students' hats. Okay, they are good, basically play music, a good singer. You can see this during this time. And this is a truly reflection of what university student is all about. It's a whole sum of the student. You are not only good in academic in one side, but you also have basically some other traits, the other side of you. So you have, excuse me, you have to combine all this, okay, and then become the whole person, and then you market yourself when you go outside. This is what we are trying to mold our students. So you don't come here. We give you basically the instruction, the knowledge, whatnot, and then you study on your own, you get exam, whatnot, pass on the list, then you are on your own. No, we are trying to build a comprehensive personality of our student. So when you walk out from the gate, you walk out from our classroom, okay, we know that you belong to Henley Business School, okay, because you bring certain characteristics which we can identify you that is a Henley Business School product. So that's basically what we are looking at. So this is what we are basically your investment when you come to us as a student at Henley Business School at University of Reading, Malaysia. Okay, so all these things, this is what I mentioned just now, is holistic graduates. Okay, we are not only, some people are very good in studying, but they cannot even communicate with their peers. Okay, they cannot even express to agree or to disagree, okay, to give some basically opinions, okay, to have differences with others. Okay, so these are basically what we are trying to mold our students. So we believe that during the 3 years that you are with us, okay, in any of our program, especially in finance and business management, we should be able to mold you into this, okay, into this what we call it the holistic graduates with strong foundation in theoretical and applied finance, okay, with basically accounting and managerial skill. And some of our students basically they establish now, they are already setting up their business, okay, while they are students. Okay, I'm very encouraged to see some students basically talking about trading in the market, the actual trading already while they are in their first year. Okay, so this is very something very interesting that we look at. Okay, so that's basically the kind or the quality of graduates that we are trying to mold throughout the 3 years that you are with us at University of Reading, Malaysia. So what's the value proposition for BSc Finance and Business Management, as well as the whole program that we offer at Henley Business School, as well as at the schools, okay? Law, built environment, as well as psychology, okay? Specifically for the case of Henley Business School, this is the most recent data that we have. Okay, 67 of our faculty members are basically PhD holders. Okay, those are without PhD holders, they come with industry experience. Okay, years and years of industry experience. Okay, some of our faculty members basically they have a CFA qualification, professional qualification, either accounting or the CFA. And then you look at the data. Okay, today we are really embracing the so-called diversified faculty members. Okay, this is well represented in our makeup of our faculty members. 68% of our faculty members at Henley Business School are female. Okay, so female are strongly represented at our school. Okay, so we don't have any issue. For example, some people are pushing for 30% requirement of business school of the board members to be female. Okay, my apology. Okay, there's a renovation going on next door, so it's something that I cannot control. So apologies for the noise. Okay, they are drilling, hacking the wall. Okay? So, but anyway, please bear with me. Okay? And then 13% of our faculty members are basically international. They come from various parts of the world. So you look at this composition of our faculty members, we bring in a very diverse background, okay, with the right qualification, with the makeup basically of international as well as the female representation in our university. Okay, so this is something that we are proud of. We call ourselves the, I called it in the beginning of the slide, okay, the family of Henley Business School, the family, the big family of Institute of Lending Malaysia. And for your information, specifically about this BSc Finance and Business Management, okay, the program is considered as CFA Institute University Affiliation Program. What does it mean is that the program is well suited, prepare the student to sit for the CFA exam. Okay? CFA is a professional qualification, worldly recognized. Okay, it is based in the US. Okay, so every year CFA provides 4 to 6 scholarship, 4 Part 1 exams. Okay, 4 Part 1 exam. So this is how this will change. Okay, with the situation that we are facing. Okay, in the first year in 2020. When our student received this first scholarship, okay, from CFA, they were supposed to sit the exam in June of 2020, but somehow the exam was postponed to December 2020 because of the pandemic. But now I think almost all institutions, either education, government, industry, whatnot, we already embrace this pandemic as part of our life, so we have to move on. So there's no issue of can we sit for the exam, can we not, whatever. There's no issue anymore. It's not an issue. Okay? It's part of us already. Okay, so so that's why there's a cliche, right? There's a buzzword today: living with the pandemic, living with the with COVID. Call it. Okay, so what it means is that our students are ready to sit for this Part 1 or provide the pathway for the CFA exam. I must put a qualification here. I must put a caveat to what I'm saying. CFA does not give exemptions. Okay, so what they are saying is that because our curriculum is closely mirror image their own curriculum in CFA, so therefore they provide this CFA Institute University Affiliation Program. Okay, but please remember, CFA does not provide exemption for the any of the modules, either Part 1, Part 2, whatever it is. Okay, so that's basically CFA Institute. And then number 3, as mentioned by Nishan in his presentation about the University of Reading, University of Reading Malaysia provides basically the best of both worlds. Can we talk about the best of both worlds? Okay? We leverage on the strength of the Malaysian government we have today as a country, and then we also leverage on this basically legacy of the British education which provides the best education in the world. Okay, so when we talk about this, okay, how we take advantage of this? Okay, and number one, as mentioned by Nation, and I mentioned in the first part of our presentation, the qualification that we receive, okay, whatever qualification that we receive from any of the school in University of Reading, Malaysia, that qualifications awarded by the University of Reading, UK. So you don't see University of Reading, Malaysia, even though we call ourselves University of Reading, Malaysia. As you see on the slides on the top right corner, you see University of Reading, Malaysia. But in your scroll, basically, it just University of Reading, okay? Because the degrees being offered in Malaysia is exactly the same degree being offered in the UK. Therefore, if you remember what Nishan was saying about our university just now, he was commenting that students have the opportunity to study in the UK. We are not providing transfer program. We are not providing 1+2, 2+1 kind of program. There's no training because the degree is the same degree that being offered here in Malaysia as well as in the UK. Okay, but you get the same degree in Malaysia with a fraction of the cost which we are looking at the cost without compromising the quality. You get the same quality because the material is the same material in the UK. The assessment is about the same assessment in the UK, and then the process of evaluating the assessment is the same process in the UK. In fact, all of our results, all our assessment basically being scrutinized locally as well as in the UK. So that's basically on the governance side of that. Okay. Number two, okay, we are also leveraging on the Malaysian position as the #1 in Islamic finance in the world. Okay, so we are offering our Bachelor of Science in Finance and Business Management one module. Okay, which is called Islamic Finance module. Okay, just to leverage on our basically position as the global player in Islamic finance. Okay, and then I can tell you a story, share you a story, the story from our graduates, for example. They were saying that even though they are not placed in the Islamic finance, for example, those who are working in the bank, okay, they are not placed in the Islamic finance department, but they still had the opportunity to contribute, okay, to their colleagues from other departments in terms of Islamic finance, okay, because they learn this, okay. And I have a personal conversation with some of the students. They were saying that, they corrected some of the basically material within the bank during the discussion, whatnot, because and they were asking them, this particular student, for example, how do you know this? And he said, because I studied Islamic finance when I was doing this. So even though he was not from the Islamic finance department, but during the discussion, during the product development, whatnot, he still contributes. So you can still contribute to basically to the product development because you have the knowledge about the Islamic finance. Even though just one module, but it is sufficient for you basically to go to the market and to have some awareness and discussion and contribute to the industry at large. Okay. So we were talking about why is that important? Why does it matter, for example, for us to look at this, the new thing? Remember in the beginning, I was saying that now everything is delivered online. Okay. Previously, we have to attend conferences overseas. You have to fly for 15, 16 hours. Okay. You want to go to UK, you have to fly 13, 14 hours. Okay. That's a direct flight. Okay. And then you have to rest, okay, sufficient rest, and you present your paper for half an hour, 1 hour, whatever it is. Okay? But today, given that all countries in the world, okay, basically facing the same problem, which is the pandemic, okay, we can deliver things remotely, as efficient as face-to-face. Okay, so one of the basically technology being used specifically within financial services industry is what we call Fintech. Fintech is the acronym, the short form for financial technology. Okay, so it's the technology and innovation that aim to compete with traditional financial methods in the delivery of financial services. As I was saying in the beginning, okay, previously you have to go to the bank, queue in the bank, okay, or sometimes you have to queue at the ATM, okay. And I did mention this many times. Okay, ATM sometimes very polite. Okay, when you go to ATM, you say, "Oh, we are sorry, we are out of order." So you don't feel mad, okay, because it's just ATM. So you go to the counter and say, "Oh, we are sorry, we are closed today." Then you feel mad because you feel there's a interaction there. What I'm saying is that in this day and age, there's no longer a requirement that you go to the bank. Okay, you don't have to queue for hours in the bank, okay, to get services from the bank. Okay, and what is more important, more crucial, is that you can walk around anywhere safely without any cash. Okay, cashless. Okay, you don't bring any cash. Okay, but it's sufficient for you just to bring your smartphone. Okay, because most of the things today, anywhere that you go, you can just pay by using the so-called financial intermediaries, which is basically using the e-payment. Okay, that's part of the big picture of the fintech or financial technology. Okay, it is a new thing. Okay, but it's not really new. Okay, this thing is improve the delivery as well as efficiency. So when improve delivery, reduce the cost of transaction, increase the efficiency, increase the productivity, and therefore we can do more things. Okay, with better basically delivery. For example, if you queue in the bank just to pay or just to withdraw money, just queuing outside the bank for 15 minutes, you wasted 15 minutes already. And if you go back driving, you need to find parking, and most likely you have to pay for parking as well. And then for gas, wear and tear of your car, maintenance of your car. So it's all there. It's a cost involved in that. But if you basically just using this technology, either e-wallet, e-payment, part of these small things, okay, pocket of this big picture of fintech. So basically, you can save all these things. You have save energy. Okay, you are not polluting the environment. Okay, you just stay at home. Okay, you can do whatever it is. You can pay your bills from the shop, coffee shop. Okay, you can pay your bill from. You can do your grocery. Okay, during that 50 minutes, you are supposed to be queuing at the bank. Okay, so then you pay this by using this so-called e-payment method. So that's basically how the productivity is increased. We become more efficient, okay, in our delivery. And then fintech is a combination, okay, of the words finance and technology, and any businesses that uses technology to enhance or automate financial services and processes. Okay, so you see this part of our life. Okay, in our daily life. Okay, most of you probably when you are on campus, okay, or at home during this pandemic, you don't go out that much. Even though now we are allowed to go out, previously when we are not allowed to go out. Okay, you order things by using the so-called whatever app that you're using on your smartphone. Okay, from your PC, desktop or laptop, from your tablet. Okay, then you order your food, not only food. Okay, you can do so many things. Okay, now everything's being done online. Okay? Even buying a car, you can buy online today. Okay, buying a house, okay, you can do it online. Okay, that's how sophisticated businesses are. I remember many years ago. Okay, when eBay was at the beginning of the launching, not many people are basically aware of the existence of eBay, but during those times, okay, there's one piece of land in Texas, okay, huge piece of land, okay, nobody want to stay there, okay, when they advertise this in the newspaper, nobody want to buy this land. But when eBay came into picture, okay, eBay basically provide the marketplace for sellers and buyers to come, okay, and you know, because of the technology, the seller was advertising, you know, the power of advertising. We're talking about this technology, leveraging on technology, and he put a caption on that piece of land. Okay, do you want to own your own zip code? Yeah. For example, our zip code in Johor, let's say 78000. That's our zip code, postcode. Okay. So in the US, the piece of land in Texas, okay, was selling. Okay, they were trying to sell by the cliche. Okay, do you want to own your zip code? So the moment that the potential buyer saw that, oh yeah, I want to own that zip code. So they were running and bidding for that piece of land. And then they managed to sell it for a good amount of money, actually. So this is how technology can improvise, can create efficiency in the delivery of the product that you want to sell. This applies to all aspects of our life, not only to finance. Okay. Okay. It used to be an enabler. Okay, fintech used to be an enabler, it's still an enabler, but the most important thing is that fintech drive the economic, the engine of the economy. Okay, today, for example, you go anywhere, okay, you don't have this basically e-wallet or basically e-payment, whatnot. You feel handicapped, you feel left out, you cannot do anything. Okay. When our campus was opening, okay, I was traveling back and forth from campus to my place. Okay, sometimes I took basically the ride sharing facilities. Okay, and I feel handicapped that because I have to put my information inside that particular apps. Okay, for payment. Okay, I refuse to share my payment methods because I always have this sense of insecurity, being hacked, whatnot. Okay, so. Most drivers, okay, they don't allow you to pay cash, but some drivers they prefer cash, they can accept cash, but some drivers they don't accept cash. So that limits my choice. Okay, that's basically accepting cash payments only. Okay? Because if you pay by ePay, it is safer for the driver and safer for you as well. You don't have to pay cash and whatnot. Okay, it's just done deal. Okay, when you take the ride from my place to the campus to the office, okay, to work, and then basically when I arrive there, I don't have to worry for change, okay, for whatever it is, it's already there. Okay, so the in the apps. Okay, that's a small example of that. So why this thing is important? Why basically fintech is so important in our daily life today? Okay, number one, the buzzword that's been used in the market today is what we call financial inclusion. Okay, financial inclusion. What this financial inclusion means that reaching out, okay, for those who are not covered by the formal financial services. This pocket of society is what we call unbanked or underbanked or underserved pocket society. Do you believe it? Okay, because we are so used to using these financial facilities, either online or face-to-face or with the physical visit to the financial institution, there are pockets of society within, this is anywhere, okay? From the developed countries all the way to least developed countries, and more so for the least developed countries. Okay? There are people who are left out from the formal financial, basically, institutions, so they are not covered. I'll give you one example. Okay? During this pandemic, okay, the government of Malaysia giving out a lot of basically assistance to deserving population. So we thought government is giving assistance. Okay, there are many ways how these things are being pushed or being delivered to the population. So one of the ways is basically to ensure that they have access to services of financial institutions, such as a bank account. Okay. In 2014, if I'm not mistaken, I can double check. Okay? In 2014, okay, the IMF issued a booklet. Okay, this is the data about small booklet. Okay, I think you can download that from IMF website. Okay, small booklet about financial inclusion, global financial inclusion. Okay, this is data. So you can see. Okay. The age group who have access to banking services and age group who do not have access to banking services, they don't have an account. Okay, we go by female, by gender, male, female, by age group, by countries. It's a comprehensive coverage of the financial inclusion law. That reflects the importance of financial inclusion. Why is it important for everybody to have access to financial services? Because most of the government assistance, we are talking about government assistance, being pushed by these basically financial services or financial institutions. So that's why it is important for everyone to have access to these banking facilities. Okay, and at the end of the day, when we have access to the banking facilities, that will help the economy to grow actually. Okay, I will show you some example after this. Okay, there's an icon there. Somehow there's delay in terms of the thing. We'll talk about this in the moment. Okay, when it shows up. I know the words now, but I will wait until the icon appears. Okay, and then as I was talking about just now, we are talking about digital lifestyle in a post-COVID-19 world. Okay, so basically all things are now being delivered digitally. Okay, we never envisioned that this will happen to us. We think that technology is still requires us to come to office, whatnot. But evidently, for the last 20 months, for example, for the case of Malaysia and many parts of the world, okay, many schools are closed. Okay, many universities are closed. Okay, and students are following, basically taking their degree program, taking their primary school exam, whatnot, still basically online. Okay, delivery. And then we have a peer-to-peer lending. Okay, what we have traditionally is basically we have to go to the bank, fill up a form, okay, and then sign, submit. The bank will check our credit record, okay, with the credit database, okay, how are we in terms of the paymaster wise? Are we a good paymaster? Are we a lousy paymaster? Do we pay our services on time? Okay, do you pay your phone bill on time, for example? This creates the credit scores, okay, for all of us. Okay, so if your credit score is low, and then they may charge you higher interest rate or higher profit rate, okay, or you don't get a chance to get the facilities or not. But today you don't have to go to the bank anymore. Okay, you don't have to go to the bank anymore. You can do this all at home at your convenience, by the swimming pool, by the beach somewhere in the Caribbean or Maldives, whatever it is. Okay, and then you can basically apply for these facilities in what we call peer-to-peer lending. I'll give you an example after this. Okay, so let's finish this bullet point first. And then development of smart cities. Okay, less bureaucracy, speed of transaction, access to global market. Okay. As you probably aware, okay, EduCity Iskandar Putri, where we are, it is within Iskandar Putri. Iskandar Putri part of the initiative to create a smart city, okay, smart city. And then now we are moving to this basically smart city concept, okay, because for the environmentally friendly, okay, we want to create basically everything smart, okay. So not far away from our campus, okay, there's a big plan for smart city, okay. And then blockchain and cryptocurrency. I will not talk about this because why? Because when you come and join this program, basic finance and business management, okay, there's one module by the same title, okay, blockchain and cryptocurrency being taught to you. So you will know exactly the whole 9 yards, okay, of blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Okay, so please come and join us. Okay, so you will see this. So coming back to bullet number 1, financial inclusion. This is being introduced in Kenya actually. Okay, firstly introduced in Kenya. Low tech, okay, low tech, but just using the normal handphone. Okay, it's not even a smartphone. It's normal handphone. It's called M-Pesa. Okay, M-Pesa. This is Pesa is Swahili words for money. Okay, and then M is for mobile. Okay, and then Pesa is for money. It was first introduced in Kenya, where they receive their salary. You can transfer money from one person to another person using phone, okay, and then you can go to the grocery buying things, whatnot, by using phone. You believe it or not, for the case of Malaysia, okay, we have about 32, 33 million population. But you look at the data of the number of smartphones that we have in this country, it's about 1.5 times the number of the population. So basically, some people, they are using more than one smartphone. But what we are saying is that almost everybody have access to phone. Okay, so this is the technology being penetrated by those who introduced this to the market in Kenya, and now it's spreading most part of African countries, and also going to some parts of Southeast Asian countries. Okay? by using this mobile technology. Okay, all you need is just access to phone. It's not necessarily a smartphone. Okay, there's no app for you to download. Just by using this normal smartphone, there's a number sent to you, and then you can buy things or not by using this M-Pesa. And then we take a look at some of the examples that I was talking about peer-to-peer lending. Okay, peer-to-peer lending. These are the companies. I'm not promoting these companies. I just give you the example, okay, of peer-to-peer lending. You don't see names of big banks in Malaysia here, okay? And then you don't see any names of big banks anywhere in the world. What you see is this is the startup companies, okay? And then later on they become companies, okay? They create this basically peer-to-peer lending. So you don't have to go to the bank anymore to just get money, okay? And then just today when I was looking at last minute at the slides, okay? There's a pop-up on my news channel. There's a pop-up, okay? Get this now, pay later. So there's a new basically services being provided by the name of pay later. So you consume now, you pay later. Okay, I'm not talking about you should do this. What I'm saying is that there's an available basically avenue for those people who like to consume now and then pay later. Most people or some people, they will provide to save now and then consume later. Delayed gratification, we call it, right? So that's up to the individual. But what we are saying is that we have these facilities available today. Okay, for example, Upstart. You go to Upstart, you sign up whatever it is. And I've never been to any of this website. You sign up, okay, and then there's they call it robo engine. Okay, that goes like a RoboCop, okay, the cop from robot, right? So robo engine, what they use is that they use this robo engine, okay, to check on your credit scoring, okay, anywhere that they find it. Excuse me. So anywhere try and find it, okay, and then you can apply for these facilities, okay, and then all you need is just a bank account. If your application is approved, okay, they will send you the money, and then they tell you how to pay it. So this is peer-to-peer lending. Peer-to-peer lending exactly the same way how peer-to-peer music first basically being introduced, right? If you remember, this being banned now, okay, and then peer-to-peer movie, and now they have this let's not go there, okay, the underworld thing, okay, let's go there. This is the official basically services provided to customer. So this is part of this the advancements in the financial technology, okay. If you use any of this, okay, and then now also previously a lot of donation being done basically by using physical donation, but now you can use so-called some call it crowdfunding, some call it cloud funding. Many of the startup companies basically they are using this crowdfunding, okay, to raise capital. And many of these companies basically well established later on become the issue IPO to this company or not, okay, later on. So this is basically a very advanced stage of this financial technology, okay. So these are some of the companies, okay. Maybe some of you have seen these companies, some of you have never heard of them, okay. What are these companies? N Financial has been in the news for the past few months, okay, for obvious reason, okay. Then you have the Zero, Sophie, Zong-An, okay, Lufa, Evan, okay, and then Kudian. This is some of the so-called. I leave it to you, okay, for you to figure it out. Okay, what are these companies? What do they have in common among these companies? Okay, I leave it to you as your homework for today. Okay, and then coming to this digital banking development for the case of Malaysia, I just give you basically the headlines. Okay. Bank Negara Malaysia to issue up to 5 digital banking licenses in 2002. So we are not far off from there. What is digital banking or virtual banking, we call it? This bank will have no branches, no physical brick and mortar branches anywhere. They don't have a branch, okay, anywhere. So, but they operate like a full-fledged banking system, and everything is basically by using online. Okay, you want to deposit money, you want to open up your account, you want to do whatever, it is all online. Some of the banks in Malaysia are already offering these services, but they still have the brick and mortar branches. Okay, but what we are doing now is that Bank Negara is embracing the new world of financial services, basically go to digital banking. Okay? So then Monetary Authority of Singapore issued 4 licenses for digital banking. Okay, and then same thing in the Philippines. Okay, Central Bank of Philippines also looking into this. Okay, and Hong Kong announced that they have granted 8 entities licenses to operate a digital bank with include Chinese tech giant like Ant Group, Tencent, Ping An, Zoan. I hope my pronunciation is correct. Okay. So that's basically some example. So remember just now in the previous slide we were saying that Bank Negara to issue up to the maximum of 5 licenses. Okay, this morning just before our presentation I was checking on the status update on this. Okay, so just take a look who are the players. Okay, who already bid. Okay, send their proposal bid for these licenses for virtual banking licenses for the case of Malaysia. I give you a few. Okay, then later on I give you Aeon Credit Service. Okay, already sending their bids. Okay, to Bank Negara Malaysia, submitted their bid. Okay, and then we have My Angkasa Digital Services together with Boston Holding Berhad. Okay. And then Axiata RHB. Axiata is a cellular company which provides cellular phone. Main thing of their business, big core of business is basically cellular phone, and they combine with RHB. So basically, they want to leverage on Axiata access to all these basically digital network in this country from east to west, north to south. Okay, and then they want to leverage on RHB access to banking services. So they marry these two, and then they submit their bid to Bank Negara Malaysia. And then we have this Big Pay. You know what's Big Pay? Who owns Big Pay? And then we have the MIDF. Okay, and also Ikhlas Capital. Okay, this is one group. Okay, Aeon one group. Okay, My Angkasa Boston Holding one group. Axiata RHB one group. Big Pay, MIDF, Ikhlas Capital one group. And the next one is Grab and Singtel. Singtel is again a provider of this cellular phone in Singapore, one of the biggest, and they want to join with Grab. So if you look, okay, Singtel's what's Singtel's strength and what's Grab strength, okay, so that they combine this to create a digital. So all these things to me, okay, for us as a consumer is very good because when they bid, okay, and they provide the most efficient way to deliver these virtual banking licenses, services to us later on whenever they operate next year, hopefully, because these companies are all established companies and good in what they are doing. Okay? The next part is Green Packet. Again, this is a communication company, okay, Zico and M2 for Taurik. Yeah? And then Money Match, standalone kind of bid. Yeah? And then Paramount and Star Media Group. You know, Star Media Group is a newspaper publication house. Okay, I think the largest circulation of English newspaper today. Okay, so this next group, 5 companies. Okay, iFast, Koperasi Tentera, 99 Speedmart, Yilian Bank, and Yuko, I think. Okay, so you look at that 99 Speedmart. Okay, just like 7-Eleven kind of stuff, right? But they have big enough, they have well capitalized for them to embark and join with some other companies, okay, to bid for this virtual banking licenses. And then MPay, okay, MPay. So how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, more or less about 11 or 10 bidders that I can show you with you here. But you know how many actually bids for these virtual banking licenses? The last count was close to 30, okay, about 27 bidders, okay, potential bidders. These are confirmed bidders, okay, including, for example, companies like giant companies like Petronas. They have no business in doing financial services, but they have a lot, tons of money, I suppose. Okay, so that's why they're also bidding on this. Okay, so what we are saying is that what's the relation with what we are talking about before? If you coming to our program, okay, BAC Finance Business Management, okay, and you want to work with this virtual banking anywhere in the world, like in Malaysia or anywhere in the world for that matter, okay, you are well equipped to go into this basically any of these companies. Okay, so what it means is that you have your learning curve is not that steep. Okay, it's slightly basically flat because why? You know some of the stuff already. What you don't know is basically the banking operation. That's probably something that you need to know. Even though we share with you, there's some modules talking about banking, whatnot, but the operational sides basically that you have to experience yourself. Okay, so that's basically what we are saying, that the importance of having the finance knowledge, the importance of having this applied finance knowledge, and the importance of combination of finance theories, applied finance, as well as the analytical tools. Because when you work in any of these companies, probably you don't have to go to the office because there's no brick and mortar kind of office. Probably you work from home, but you bring these basically skills with you, the hard skill as well as the soft skill with you, which basically will help you grow within the organization, such as this, for example, to climb up the corporate ladder. Okay? And then example application of financial technology and financial inclusion. Okay, just to give you perspective from a theoretical point of view. Okay, this is published by Ozili and Peterson in 2008. Okay, you look at this, the government intervention, in what way that financial inclusion is important by using this financial technology, fintech. Okay, as I mentioned previously, okay, the overall objective is to serve the unbanked or underserved or underbanked. Okay, so what's the problem that we have? Okay, we have the problem of poverty. Okay, we have the problem of how to reduce poverty, whatnot, by using this financial technology, so that when they have access, it's easier for us to get the data, easier for us to channel all kind of basically transfer payment and whatnot. Okay, so this is where financial inclusion is important. Okay, in delivering this basically financial technology to reduce poverty, for example. Okay, and then how does BSc Finance and Business Management meet the requirement of the future demands and skills, especially in the fintech world? Okay, so these are the modules that you will see, you will take during your part 1 or year 1. Okay, you have this business in practice, accounting for managers. Okay, and then you have this basically what we call introductory finance trading simulation. So you are being exposed to trading simulation as early as year 1. Okay, as early as year 1 in your program. And then you talk about economics and business. Okay, introductory to quantitative techniques. Okay, for business and finance, ethics and investment management. This is crucial in this day and age. Okay, ethics investment management. This is the required module for the CFA. Even if you take CFA independently, you still have to sit for the ethics modules. Okay, because some of the financial basically so-called crisis that occurs within big corporation today related to ethics. Okay, the famous one, the first time the word of creative accounting was introduced was during the Enron crisis. Okay, where it wiped out the whole entire saving fund of this pension fund of the employees. Okay, so Enron, I think before you were born, so but if you search Enron, is a big companies in the US. Okay, where I think killing the CSO, this CEO of that being charged in court. Okay, but he died before he was charged, formally indicted. Okay, but he was indicted. Okay. And then introductory securities and market. Okay, so basically you look at all this IC heading. Okay, refers to finance module. Okay, look at how many finance modules that you have to take even in your year 1. Okay, in year 2, okay, you still have to take a finance module. Okay, corporate finance, portfolio management, financial modeling. Okay, this is where again you have to go to the dealing room. Okay, the dealing room, and then remember we are providing the holistic kind of graduates for Fairborn graduates, okay, you study about finance, you study about accounting, you study about management, you study about entrepreneur. So module is about marketing, entrepreneurship, okay, AC modules about accounting, okay. And then the next one, basically when you come to year 3, this is again very exciting, derivative securities, okay. You are exposed to another type of financial product, financial services available today. And then management of risk, okay, banking practices. Sorry about that. Banking practices, okay, that we have for your need. And then strategy investment practices. This is what the company has talking about earlier on, fintech and cryptocurrencies. Yes, we are in the unprecedented era due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This is well said already, so we don't have to repeat this thing much. We are in a very serious challenges to developing our every product is an opportunity to start, and then so we are building opportunities for our students despite the challenges. We are having this basically online delivery, but we do not compromise on the quality of our delivery. We do not compromise a single penny on the quality of our program. You can use this for help, okay? Contact us, okay? And then all about the 03, okay? We do S here, and then Mission, back to you.
Hi, Dr. Pisal. Yep. So, wow, thank you very much for sharing on your bit about the program as well as why finance and fintech is important. I was just particularly so intrigued by how much financial technology has actually grown over the past years. 15 years ago, we didn't have a lot of these big MNCs or financial services, and then now we see the rise of so many players within the industry, and we have so many companies and startups that have begun providing financial services as well. And even in Malaysia, for example, like Touch and Go, I think is one example of a fintech, and that has actually led to the emergence of a lot more companies locally. Dr. Pisal, I would just like to kickstart the Q&A session, since we don't have any questions on the live chat at the moment. I do have a few questions myself about the discipline, about the program that we offer. Now, just to begin with, Dr. Pisal, we know that it is a BSc in Finance and Business Management, and uniquely, it has the best of both worlds. You have a program that's focused on the qualitative as well as the quantitative part of the program. Now, what if I was, say, a science graduate? I have a command of maths, I have biology and physics perhaps in my resume, but would that be suitable for a science graduate to actually study finance and business management?
Nishan, I have to apologize because I cannot hear you because of the drilling. Can you just summarize what you were saying?
Okay. Yeah. So I meant, do science graduates actually have the opportunity to study the program, or arts graduates, yes, they have maths and economics and so on.
Yeah, very interesting question. Thank you, Nishan, for that. Okay. If you look at, for example, I have seen people, okay, especially at the higher degree, okay, masters and especially PhD, okay, a lot of people coming from physics, actually physics, chemistry, biology, okay, and they did their PhD in finance, okay, because it is easier for them to move, to do transition from science into finance, okay, rather than from finance into science, okay. Especially so for the case of Malaysia, we are so streams early on in our education, okay, from the middle school, I think, I suppose, all the way up, you are starting streaming already, your science, your arts, your this, whatnot, okay. But I think this program is designed for those people who have a strong interest in exploring finance, business management in particular, okay. So regardless of your qualification background, we have seen people coming from various backgrounds actually. You can be successful in this program, okay. What it needs for those students who come in with other than finance, other than business, do not worry that I don't have an understanding of finance theory. Do not worry. Our job is to provide you with opportunity to learn about finance, about accounting, about business management. Okay? There's no prior knowledge required.
Awesome. I think that would be very interesting because I've seen myself, we've spoken to hundreds of parents and students. There always are people who are from a very different background, but are keen on a very different discipline.
Yeah.
So I think being a science student, they are well equipped and flexible enough to venture into finance and so on. So that's great, Dr. Pisal. Thanks for answering that. Moving on to the second question, Dr. Pisal. Now, we know that students need to be well versed or have a good command of a few subjects at, say, IGCSE or O levels or SPM level. How crucial is mathematics as well as economics to this discipline? Do students need to be like really good A students, or someone with a B or a C still has a chance of venturing into this? Okay, guys. So yeah, apologies for the challenges that Dr. Pisal is facing right now. But yes, so okay, sure, no problem, sir.
Sorry, Nation, the drilling is just next door. That's next to me.
Yeah, I hear it here as well. So, but yeah, if you can't hear my question right now, we were just asking about, how important is maths and economics, for students who are at IGCSE or SPM level that want to study finance and business management in the future. Right. So while Dr. Pisal is actually facing these challenges from home, but
sorry about that.
No, that's fine, sir. But yeah, how important maths and economics for SPM or IGC?
In any finance, okay, in any finance and math, required skill. Let me hold the microphone. Okay, they are really very.
So for the viewers that are watching, I would just like to inform all of you that we have actually done or finished our September intake for the foundation and undergraduate programs this year. However, ladies and gentlemen, for all of you that will be sitting for your exams, say the IGCSE seating later in October, November, the UEC exams later this year, as well as those who are sitting for their SPM next year, we do have 3 intakes throughout the year. So we have our April intake that will be for both the foundation and undergraduate programs. And we will have our July intake, and then we will have our traditional September intake. So we do have 3 intakes for you to consider and join us in our programs. But yes, you can actually get in touch with us with regards to the entry requirements, with regards to, we'll be happy to have you over for campus tours, as well as give you insight about the programs and, what value add is that, to do your degree here, as well as part of it in the UK. So you do have those options available. And also, we will be doing more of these virtual talks as we go on. So yes, there will be more sessions, more interesting sessions. Dr. Pisal?
Thank you, Nishan. Thank you. My sincere apologies. Okay,
that's fine, sir.
Control. But yes, to put it mildly, shortly, okay, maths is the lingua franca of finance. Okay, so maths is the medium of instruction for the modern finance today. So everything is basically when you go to the higher level finance and economics, whatnot, you will see all the gibberish. Okay, so to speak. But that's not meant to scare you off, okay? The amounts of maths, okay, the amounts of basic economics that's required for you to be successful in the program that you have covered already in your A-level, something that you have covered in your foundation, okay? So what you see, the kind of math that you see in finance that we are exposing you throughout the 3 years that you are with us is basically nothing really new, but the application is new. Okay, for example, previously you learn maths as maths per se. Okay, there's no application to it. Now, for example, you think about the derivative of dy dx. For example, just example. Okay, dy dx. We use it in economics. For example, on how to measure the slope of the curve. For example, why is it important for us to measure the slope of the curve? And then by looking at the slope of the curve, that you know that whether the change is increasing or decreasing. You are making a positive profit or you're making a negative profit, maximum profit or minimum profit. So there's something like that. This is the application of the knowledge that you have learned in your A-level, O-level, even in fact for some of the SPM level, whatnot. So the amounts of maths required to be successful in this program will be exposed to you in part 1. You see just now, there's introductory quantitative methods. Okay, so that's basically the level of methods required. Don't worry about it. It is sufficient for you to.
Awesome, Dr. Pisal. Thanks for providing that insight. Dr. Pisal, probably one, there was a comment on the chat, of course. I don't think it's a question, but more of a comment that from Zarina Omar, which mentioned that there are very interesting modules and relevant to the current market needs. I think she was referring to our program structure. At the same time, there was a comment from her saying that the things I learned many years ago seem to be outdated now. What's your comment on that?
Well, thank you to Ms. Zarina for that comment, positive comment. And actually, this has always been the debate. Okay, things that I learned years ago has been outdated. It's not basically. The reason we come to university is not basically to learn specific things during that particular time, and then once we graduate, that's it, we are done with. But the reason that we are coming to university is that to learn the very thing that I mentioned in the beginning of my presentation. That is number one. The most important thing is that to develop the analytical skills. Okay, once you possess this analytical skill, you go anywhere that you go, in whatever field that you embark in, okay, you still bring that analytical skill that you have learned years ago, okay? Many of us, for example, studied finance, okay, about this, for example, whatever, Modigliani theory, economics, or not, okay? You don't use it on your daily life, okay? But when you go today, basically you're bombarded with so many things, okay, on advertisement, how to buy this, buy that. But when you make an informed decision, okay, whether I should buy this now, should I delay this later, should I purchase the house now, or should I buy a car now? This decision comes from the knowledge that you learn from the university. So you make evaluation on your financial standing today, not specifically that you learn in the classroom, but the ability to think, the ability to make decisions, the ability to analytically analyze. That's come from university. That goes until the day we die. Okay? If we lose that sense of analytical, we are doomed. We are ceased to be human. Sorry.
I couldn't agree more, Dr. Pisal. I think it also, as how you put, we are bombarded with a lot of marketing material and advertisements, and all of this more often than not is just mind games. People want you to buy something at that point of time.
Yeah.
I think this goes back to one of our topics weeks ago when we spoke about financial literacy. Making informed decisions and evaluating whether it's necessary or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you got a very strong point there. So yeah, we may not apply everything that we learn every day, but there will be points in our life where we will need to evaluate. And that background knowledge that we have prior to this is where, or what we will use
Indeed.
when we are evaluating.
Indeed.
I think, yeah, that's a very good insight, Dr. Pisal. Dr. Pisal, before we conclude the session, what would be your advice to future students that are, the 17, 16-year-olds right now who are bracing themselves for another year of studying and exams, and then deciding where to go? What do I study? For some of them, they may have already known what they want to do. And for some, they don't know what they want to do, but they may have the necessary skills, whether they're good in maths or science or biology. What would your advice be for these students, when they are selecting their next institute of higher learning, where they're going for the next step?
Well, number one is that, as we are aware, the most important thing in learning is that there's no shortcut in learning. Okay? There's no shortcut. So whatever level that you are studying right now, there's no shortcut. You have to do the long cut. That's number one. Number two, do well whatever you are doing right now. Do well. Okay. Number three, like what you do. Okay, you are doing it well, then you like it, you love to do it. So when you wake up early in the morning, when you want to go to school, for example, you feel motivated to go to school. You don't feel that, oh, I don't want to go to school, whatnot. Okay. So if you have these three things, okay, already in place, okay, basically there's no shortcut. I will understand there's no shortcut. Okay, there's a long way to be successful. Okay. Number two, do well what you are doing. Okay. Number three, like what you do. Okay. Try to fall in love with what you are doing. Okay? If you do that, I suppose that you'll be successful. Once you have these three things in place, in my humble opinion, Nishan, then you set a goal. Okay, wherever you stand today, set a goal. Envision yourself. Where do you want to be 5 years from today? What do you want to be? If you want to be a CEO of a bank, okay, then you study what's the pathway leading you to that. Okay, if you want to be a person like you, for example, good in what you are doing, for example, and then please provide, look at the pathway, what's needed, what's the challenges, what's required, something like that, right? It's not easy, for example, when we talk, okay, you talk, you're facing me on the camera, I'm talking facing the camera is up there, I'm talking you, we're talking in the new norm, so correct, talking to ourselves, so to speak, right? So it's not easy, okay? So what skills is required for us to do that? So that's a skill in itself, okay? So you put the goal somewhere in the front, okay? So basically to define your objective. I used to ask this question, okay? When I meet potential student, okay? Tell me what you want to be when you grow up. And they will say, oh, I already grown up. No, it's not that what I meant, okay? Once you finish your study, what do you want to be? So you have to clear objective, okay? So like climbing the steps, okay? So where do you want to put yourself 3 years from today, 5 years from today, 10 years from today? So that is basically setting the goal is very important. Once you have this, you go to any program, any university, basically you should be successful. Of course, if you are given a choice, okay, you will be given a chance, okay, to study in the place that you really get what you are looking for, okay? Study, well, what we say is basically worth the investment, okay? You want to invest something, you want to get a good return, so make sure you have a portfolio of products to where you want to invest yourself. And University of Reading, as you can see behind Nishan, okay, we have 150 years of experience, okay? We learn from our mistake, we move on, and then we improvise along the way. So this is, again, I repeat, okay, we are not fly-by-night university. We are a long-established university. Come and join us, okay? Either here in Malaysia or in Reading, UK. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Dr. Pisal. I like the way you put that piece of advice. There is no shortcut to success. I think in today's world, more often than not, the youths or anyone for that matter get inspired by a lot of people, but they don't see the journey that they go through. They don't see the process that they go through to earn the position or earn, to buy the cars that they have or to achieve the success that they have. So I think as young 16, 17-year-olds, I think they have to realize that there's a long process behind that journey to success. And at the same time, I couldn't agree more with you, the way you put it, that education is actually an investment.
It is.
So you have to definitely choose the right pathway, and you have to love what you do, because at the end of those 4 or 5 years, it's not just a piece of paper that you have. It's going to be a huge 15, 20-year journey of working and exploring and learning and networking. So you've got to love what you do. You've got to put in the passion, and then you are able to achieve the success that you want. Dr. Pisal, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for giving us the insight despite the challenges that you were facing today. And I think that was a very detailed presentation. That was a very, you gave us the insight about fintech as well as finance and how that can help elevate your career. I would like to thank you again. And also for the viewers that joined us, thank you very much for joining. And for those of you who will be watching this in the future, we will have this uploaded onto our YouTube and also shared on our social media pages. So as I said, September intake is done. We do have the next intakes coming up in April, July, and September. So do keep in touch with us. Do keep up to date on our developments in the next few months. And we will definitely be happy to have you over, whether it's just to view the campus or speak to us about the programs, because you are really getting the best of both worlds here at the University of Reading, Malaysia. So once again, Dr. Pisal, thank you. Please have a safe weekend. And to the viewers, thank you very much. And we will meet you again very soon. Stay safe, guys.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You too, sir. Bye-bye.